All right, thanks for tuning into the FATTZ Media Podcast. This is Seymour here. In this episode, we're going to talk about building a brand. Not just a brand. A lot of people, a lot of artists, they want to sell merch. They all tell you, that's another revenue generator for you. On top of streaming, on top of releasing your album for sale, and then on top of touring, there's merch. Now, I'm not for merch. I'm for drops. So you have drops, limited drops with certain projects. But what you should always have is a brand. You should have a clothing brand that ties in with your music brand. All right. So this episode is going to be talking about building a brand, not just a merch line. Okay. So most artists, what they do is they build merch lines and they don't move because the merch line is tied to one specific project. That's the problem. You want to shift that mind and focus on building a brand around you, around your energy, and around your image. So when they think of your brand name, they think of you. Okay, it's kind of like you think of Yeezy, you think of Kanye. You think of Rockaway, you think of Rockefeller. That like that. You want to build a brand. Okay, so then there's power in capsule collection. So now because you built your brand, you can use that brand to manufacture stuff for capsule collections, limited collections for your brand, for your drops. So if you're dropping a certain single and you got a big name feature, you get somebody you took all the money you had and you want to push into this one single because you got this big artist to do the single for you, and you want to drop a capsule collection that represents that, then you'll be able to do that, and then you'll still be able to throw your name, the name of your brand in there, so then in the person's head, whenever you release something under that brand name in the future, they tie it back to you, and it doesn't have to be tied into that album, okay, or to that single. All right. So another great thing about having brands is you can sell your branded merch. You can have one table selling your merch, and then you can have one table selling your brand, and it's all the same thing. It's the same. It's you. It's all coming back to you. So it'll still be different, but it'll be the same. And your fans will understand that. They understand that, hey, these collection of shirts is to represent this show that I came to, so I can always remember that I came to this show, and it has like a special image of the show, and it has the tour date on it, and it has all that stuff. And then the other table is the brand, all right? And that's the clothes that you're going to wear to work that you just don't have to wear on special occasions, stuff like that, okay? Because there's a lot of people that they buy limited edition clothes, limited edition merch, and they keep that stuff for 20 years. And those are the diehard fans that are going to continue to support you until they're old, okay? So now you want to sell merch and music in the same time. So what you need to do is you need to find a person that's going to manufacture your clothes. So one thing you could do is you can start with t-shirts. So when you're focused on music and you're spending all your money on music, the last thing you want to do is spend money buying a shirt press. And you're not a clothing designer. You're not a clothing manufacturer. Now, if you have somebody in your circle, if you have a friend of yours that he dabbles with fashion and he has a heat press, then go ahead. It'll be a lot cheaper for you to buy blank shirts, buy transfers, or take the shirts over to a press place and they'll screen print it or they'll press something on it. You can do that. You'll save some money doing that, but you're not in the business of manufacturing clothes. You need to focus on what you're doing and what your purpose is, and that is making music or making content. Manufacturing clothes, it's not you. That's going to distract you. If you start making clothes, as soon as you make a couple dollars, then it's going to distract you from making that song that you're supposed to make. And then eventually it's too much and you start losing momentum. Okay, so remember that. So one thing you want to do is you want to have a place to set your stuff up for sale. So if you don't have a website, you can open one. You could do a Shopify setup where you pay $29 a month. You're gonna have to pay someone to make the site. You can try to make it yourself. You want to make it basic. If it's just one shirt, you can definitely watch a YouTube video, make that yourself. This is the way if you want to do it the cheap way. Another way you can do it is you can buy the domain name, then go to Lovable, which is an AI website builder. You get Lovable to build it for you, and then you copy the code over, or you get Lovable to connect to your domain, and then you put it up that way. All right, that's the easy way, the do-it-yourself way. That's the way you could do it. Or you can just get a pre-made shirt page. You can go to Printify, and they'll give you a custom website for the custom shirt page, and you can have your merch on there. But the only thing is, those websites, they look very cheap. They look like gifts, like gift shop stores. It has mugs, it has shirts, hoodies, and the quality is not great. When that stuff comes, is very, very weak quality. You're not guaranteed what you're gonna get. They make a lot of mistakes with the shipping. They make a lot of mistakes with the pressing, and if they mess up, that reflects on you. When they mess up and they deliver things late, that reflects on you. People are gonna be messaging you on Instagram, on TikTok, on all your socials that they haven't received their order. And again, your focus is music. Your focus is not clothing. You're not a clothing brand manufacturer, okay? So you got to shift your mindset to that. Another thing you can do is you can go on Nario, create your account on Nario, and when you have Nario's for independent content creators, that's what we created it for. You go there and you create your account, you have your music there, right? Then you set up your music for streaming, you set up your music for sale. Then on your profile, you have a link there that you can write a custom link on there. You make your Printify page, and you connect that website link into the Nario page. So when people go to your profile on Nario, they have access to all your platforms right there. They can see your socials right through there. They can get your music, they can buy stuff, and then they can get the link right to your merch. So you don't have to keep promoting different websites. All right, this is early on. After the brand is built for the clothing brand, then you have to focus. Then you have to have some dedicated time or a dedicated person to work on that. They have to respond to messages. They have to do all that. You're gonna have to get a friend. You're gonna have to get a virtual assistant to do that. All right. So that's gonna deal with that right there. All right. So now you're gonna shift from merch to a brand. That's what you're gonna do. That's where your mindset is gonna be. After you do that, you're gonna do capsule drops specifically for music. If your music is dark and raw or streetwear edge, you do something. You do some minimalistic and emotional type clothes, some dark clothes, open palm, midnight season, stuff like that. For special EP drops, you drop that limited edition shirt when you download the album. When you purchase the album, you get the shirt. All right, because a lot of times when people are purchasing things, it's just a digital content they're receiving. But if you put a little bonus to it and say, "Hey, buy my album for $30, I'm going to ship you a shirt," or $50, not 30, $50, you get a shirt in the mail 2 weeks later. There you go. You have them pre-order it. They receive it. You make sure they receive it before the release of the project. So then you tell them, put on the shirt and wear the shirt and post it. And then I'm going to repost you. And then it's going to show people wearing your merchandise shirt for that album. All right. So you can set like a theme to it. And another great thing about the capsule drops is that you don't have to push. You don't have to make a lot. You don't have to make a lot, like a big quantity. You make short runs, 25, 50, 100 shirts. You don't have to dedicate a lot of money to it. All right. So here's the tools you're going to need to get started. All right. You're going to need to open a Printful account if you want to do it that way. Printify, Teespring, right? So then you don't need any inventory. Now, if you got somebody who's going to help you out, they got a heat press, or you got a pressing place close by to where you live. If you don't live in a remote area, you can open a Shopify page, and then when it sells, you go get it pressed up, and you get like 20, 24 pressed up. When it sells and you're running low, then you order some more. Then another thing, that's if you want to do Shopify. Another way you could do it is you make the website on Canva, and you get Lovable or Canva AI to design it, and then once it sells, you get a notification that it's sold. You connect it to your Stripe account, PayPal, something like that. You get the notification, then you get it made after, and then you can check the quality before it ships. But you got to tell people they're not going to receive it for 4 to 6 weeks. That's the only problem with that. That is a long lead time, and people are accustomed to it. If you prepare them and you let them know that it's going to be a long time wait, then they'll be fine with it. All right, so it won't be a problem, because when I ordered my Yeezy slippers, I didn't get that for 5 months. I already knew Yeezy already has a reputation of it. You're not going to get it right away, but you're going to get it, so it's okay. So to every indie artist listening, all right, stop thinking like a rapper. Don't drop merch. Don't think that you're a designer either, but you got to build a brand. When your brand is fire, your music is gonna gain from it. is going to have meaning to it. When you drop and are intentional with your drops, your fans are going to start collecting them. It's going to be a keepsake, you know? Not just purchasing and just running through it and then it fades to the background, you know? And if you want to start selling your gear alongside your music with no middleman, then you do it on your own. You get on the Nario app and you have everything connected to one page. So you could target people and send them to the one page and then all the links are there. That's why it's important to have a good platform where then you can send people to that same page. You don't want them bouncing around to different pages. You try to get them all to one page, okay? Now, if you don't have Nario, it's free. You can go to Linktree, set up a Linktree page, but then that's still going to bounce them around to multiple sites. At least with Nario, you have the video component to be able to watch music videos like at YouTube. You can watch it on Nario. If you upload it there, they want to stream your music, they can stream it on there. They want to buy your album, they could buy it on there, all on one platform. All right. And it has the social feed. If you start posting social posts on there, you make shorts and you post it on there. You copy the shorts you make from TikTok and from other platforms. You put it in there, is going to help you. All right. So if you want any more details, if you want me to give you like not like a script, if you want me to give you an outline of the things you should do, I can give you a checklist of what you can do to get that up and running. Message me on social media and on FATTZ Media on TikTok. It's FATTZ.media on TikTok, FATTZ Media on Instagram. Or you can go Nario Music on Instagram, Nario Music on Facebook, and check out the Nario website. It's Nario, NARRIO.co. All right, thanks for listening. FATTZ Media.